All right, it is that time again. Well, whiskey. I am your co-host Brian.
And I'm co-host Kate.
Today's question actually comes to us from a Reddit topic that made national news, as most Reddit topics do. Essentially, who should pay on a first date? So this guy basically went on a date with this girl, and he texted her, and he was like, hey, do you want to go out again? And her response was, after what you did last time, you expect me to go out with you again? Wow. I'm sure he was surprised, because, if you thought the first date went well, you would go ahead and ask for a second. So he responds to her with, what have I done? Confused, droopy, sad face emoji. And she replies, you made me pay for my own food and drink while you paid only for yours. WTF.
Okay, but there were a couple aspects of this too that were odd, I think. One was she had invited him on the first date, right? Did she invite him on that date or on a previous date?
They went on one date, and he asked her for a second, and she was like, no, after what happened last time. He said, what happened last time? She said, you made me pay for my stuff, and you paid for your own stuff. And he said he didn't pay for the date because she ordered a lobster, $90, and a bottle of wine, which all came out to $126. He ordered
a pasta and beer, and it was like $20.
Yes, $20. And so he's just like, you were really expecting me to pay that? I'm a student, not your sugar daddy. To she replied, gentlemen always pay for the girl's food. I'm not going to say what else she said there. But she invited him out and said that a gentleman always pays for the girl's food. So basically, she invited him out, and it sounded like she was expecting to get a free meal off of that.
So this is the topic we're gonna dissect, taking this example, applying this to social.
Yeah. So basically,
okay.
So today's question is, who should pay on a first date?
And to accompany our discussion, we have the finest bourbon straight from Kentucky, Bullet.
Yes, Bullet bourbon. I have to whip out a fourth camera to get the zoom on this. Okay, but Bullet bourbon. Sure. 78% of respondents when it comes to heterosexual pairs believe the man should pay on the first date. 78%.
May I ask how many respondents you had in your survey? Sample size. The sample size. Okay. You gonna make me do this? You're gonna look this up. Well,
4,447 participants.
Oh, okay. I had the impression from the way you're presenting this was like a Snapchat poll or something.
Oh, no. Snapchat. No.
No. All right. So 78% of the general population?
Yeah.
Okay.
78% said that the man should pay. And a survey found that 62% of LGBTQ singles believe the person who initiated the date should pay.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like is just a good basic rule. I don't agree with just generally blanket statement the man should always pay. I just feel like that's outdated kind of.
Okay, so would you take the majority vote of the LGBTQ pairs as in, where they said that the individual who initiates the date should be the one to pay?
I think the one who initiates the date should expect to pay, but I also don't think it's inappropriate for the other person to offer to split in that case. But okay. I do think if you ask someone on a date, you should anticipate paying, and most likely you're choosing the venue. So like, if you don't want to spend $100 on a bottle of wine and lobster, then like maybe have that date in like a taqueria or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you're the one kind of setting the scene and like deciding sort of what the venue is going to be. So then I think you're the one extending the invitation. So I do think you should go into it expecting to pay if you invite someone on a date that's like clearly a date. But like if I was invited on a date, I would probably at least minimum offer to pay.
Okay.
Or like to split.
At least. So you wouldn't go in there thinking, you know, as a female, you would not go there expecting to pay, regardless of whether or not you initiated this outing.
Wait, no, that's not what I meant though. I said I would go there not expecting the man to pay.
Yeah.
Right? If he had initiated the date, like whatever, I think whoever initiates the date should expect to pay. But the other person might offer to split, and that's fine.
But there are people out there who well, I hate to say there are females out there, but I think you'd be like not hard pressed, but if there's one member, and we're talking about heterosexual pairs, that between the male and female gender, I feel like the male feels like he should pay for the dates, and I think it dives into, you know, masculinity and what's expected of a male. I like your idea, which is at least offering, because there are some females, not all, who go on dates. For example, our the anonymous woman in our aforementioned story, who go out and, you know, a gentleman pays for the date. And honestly, I mean, I think she was just looking for a female and that she wasn't really romantically interested in him.
Definitely kind of gives those signs, especially if she initiated the date, ordered something really expensive. Like, I feel like just common courtesy is you sort of like gauge what the other person's ordering, right?
Yeah.
Like if you go out with someone and you get like 10 drinks and they have one, do you really expect to like split 50-50?
Yeah. Like,
you know?
I have friends who are just like, I'm going to order from the bar when we're in a group of like 5 or more. And then other friends where it's like one person bought a round, the next person buys a round, and it's just expected. I mean, no kind of, it's strictly platonic. But I mean, platonic or not, I do think that neither party should go into the date expecting not to pay or like not even offer to pay. I think that's messed up, to not to offer.
And just to get like hugely offended at the fact that you had to pay for your food.
Yeah, like she ordered all this stuff.
And he was a student too, right? It's not like he was like a millionaire.
No, yeah. And during the date, she was talking about another guy that she was like interested in.
It just keeps getting better and better.
And then yeah, like she's talking about a whole different dude. But yeah, a lot of people are like, you know, if you initiate a date and you choose the where, you can kind of, you know, I can afford Panera Bread. So
yeah, that's what I mean. Is like the person that initiates kind of has more power to decide where you're going and like how formal or casual it is. So I feel like that person can have the expectation, like, okay, I might be paying for us both. But I just think like the opposite side of that in today's world is to also like maybe you are kind of expecting the other person to pay, but I wouldn't be like shocked if you split it, you know?
Well, it seems that in, they say millennials, a rare breed indeed, that most dates are like split. Like most, if not all, there's like this understanding that the check comes, we'll put 2 cards down, we'll put an equal amount of cash down. There's no, I think, vintage idea where the man pays for the first date or the first, second, third, fourth, fifth date.
Yeah. I definitely think there's like certain factors that might make it more I don't know, like change sort of the circumstances, but yeah, I think splitting is always kind of like a safe bet because it's just fair. I don't know, it doesn't rely on like antiquated ideas about like, I mean, and I feel like where the idea comes from is like men always made more money, right? So in the past, like men would pay for dates because presumably they had more income. But that's not really like the world. I mean, I don't want to get into all that, but like it's not like women have jobs these days. So you know what I mean?
No, yeah. So how about like, oh, I'll pay this time, you can get it next time.
Yeah, I like that too. Because sometimes splitting does feel kind of like platonic, and so I think that's why more often like one person pays. It's sort of like, look, I'm treating you like this is nice. But yeah, I like the expectation of, maybe not expectation, but I like kind of like that rhythm of like. Also, presumably that means the date went well if there's going to be a next time. But you know, I think it can be nice. Maybe if the date didn't go well, then it's better to split because then. You're not like
split in like literal sense, like bounce or like
that, and to like split the check. I don't know. See, this is something I was thinking about. Is like with dates, there's like dates where you literally just met the person, right? And then there's dates where like you've known the person for a while, and then now you're like just starting to date. Like either they were a friend or like a coworker or whatever, and then like now you're on the first date. So I feel like those two are kind of like I was trying to think about like if the rules should be different in that circumstance, but I don't know. I haven't decided how I feel about it yet.
So I feel like a lot of guys pay for that first date to kind of seal the deal for the second.
When they don't know the girl, or
when they don't know the girl. I mean, this guy here, I don't know how they met, but she chastised him because she said all you wanted was to sleep with me after the date, and he's like, yeah, of course. And she kind of put them both in the we're both pieces of, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that feels like kind of creepily transactional. It's like, look, I paid money for this, here, give me what I deserve, you know. Like,
so on whose end would you say that's kind of like?
I feel like both attitudes there are like kind of
because it sounded like she was. I'm trying to keep this this show PG-13 for the sponsors, but we'll call it the box. So it's like she was giving up her box for lobster, and I don't know what kind of wine it was. And if he had paid for the date, she would have gone on that second date, and that might have gone somewhere.
So you're saying like her intentions were she was intending it to go a different way if he had paid?
I feel, yeah, but then there's also the whole thing with her talking about this other guy and stuff like that, because I don't think she knew that she was going to have to pay for her own food and drink at that point. Mm-hmm. And then maybe she kind of like showed her hand a little bit, but yeah, I feel like it was like a transactional vibe to the whole process.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I can't truly analyze these two mystery people in the story. I think you're right that like that sometimes is the expectation. Like I definitely think some men go on a date expecting to pay and to get something in return, like that sort of transactional aspect. But then like, does that throw everything off if like the woman offers to pay? Does that like upset that whole thing?
Yeah, wow, actually, yeah. If she had offered to pay, I think, pay for the whole thing?
I don't know, would it make a difference? If you offered to split versus offer to pay? Like, what if she was like, oh, my check was way larger than yours, let me get my part?
See, now that is wifey material. Right there. Okay? I mean, me, I would be like, okay, let's split it. I feel kind of like a hypocrite, because, like, if I were on a first date, I would feel the need to cover the whole bill. And I feel like that's just something that's been kind of like ingrained in me, despite the benefit of my upbringing in a household with a single mother, which helped me avoid being one of those machismo, stuck-up dudes. You know, that's why I'm so intelligent, because, you know, I was raised by a woman. Now, still on that train of, like, okay, like, I should, you know, pay for the first date. That's my train of thought.
I will say, like, on my end, even though I consider myself, like, a proud feminist, all this stuff, I definitely would go into a first date in the back of my head expecting the guy to offer to pay, but I would also offer to split at least. And then
I think there are, I don't say very few, who would offer to split, but then there's like offering to split, but not a genuine offer to split.
Yeah, I do think, like, I would be surprised if I was invited on a date and the guy, like, if the guy initiated the date and then made no move to pay, and I ended up paying for everything. I do think that would be odd.
See, I think that's,
you invited me.
Yeah.
You know.
See, I think that odd is okay. Like, it's not the kind of odd where, he's a man and he's not gonna pay. Like, your oddness origin points is that he initiated all of this. So then now you switch the two genders and you look at the story, then, you know, she just found it blasphemous.
Yeah, I also, like, I think if you have sort of like a social awareness, you would not rack up a huge bill, realize how little the other person is getting, and still expect them to cover your whole bill. Like,
no, yeah, she went out there with that intent. Yeah. But apparently, same-sex couples, they have no rules.
Well, there's not as much of, like, a long history, I guess, of, like, this is how it's traditionally done, and gender roles and all that, you know.
Yeah.
So
I think their method is the most logical. I hate saying their method, but
you think the method of whoever initiates the date should pay?
Well, no, like, I feel like it's just kind of like, you know, it's more casual. You don't feel like, oh man, I gotta, you know, this is me. I gotta do this. I gotta pay for that and pay for this, and that's what's supposed to be. It's just kind of like the check comes and, all right, how are we gonna do this? No, it's like, I'll get it, you get it next time. Or let's split it down the middle. There's no, well, you have a Y chromosome, so you take your wallet out and pay for this meal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You think you agree with that?
No, yeah, I think the person that initiates the date should pay, or should offer to pay. And then I also think that I like the idea of, like, if splitting feels kind of too, like, sterile, like, okay, we'll just divide it every last penny, then I like the like, okay, well, next time you can get it, like, we'll just, you know, we're not keeping score, but it's just like,
just casual, just kind of like, all right. So I think you and I are both on the same page of, I think a better way to answer this question is that, like, no one should go in assuming because of their gender that they are free from paying, and that the other individual should have to pay for everything. I think that's what we're leaning towards.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, cool. I'll cheers to that. All right, so yeah, that's our answer to that question, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, on Woke Whiskey.